Hi, this is Karen from White Willow, and I have a big task ahead of me. I am going to try to clean this oven once again. I have taken the door apart and tried to clean the glass inside and out, but there's a third layer in there of glass that you can't get to. Now, I did some research and I'm going to change clothes and we're going to get started on trying to clean this oven. It's going to be a lot of muscle work and a lot of scrubbing and a lot of trying to figure out how to put my door back together. As you can see, this is a pretty dirty oven, and I don't like to keep things dirty, but this has really gotten ahead of me. I'm wanting to encourage single women that have to run a household by themselves that you can do it. Like, there are things you can do, and you don't have to be like a contractor or a builder in order to get these things accomplished. This one is going to be interesting because I did try to take this apart one time and it only got 2 panes. There is a third pane in the middle of this door that is really hard to get to. So I have been putting it off forever because I haven't really wanted to take the time to tackle it, or had the time to tackle it, or made the time to tackle it. So the first things we're going to need is a screwdriver with a Phillips head. And you can use a manual one, or you can use your power tool if you want. Just make sure you have it on a very low speed. So you don't want it on like 10 or hammer. You want it on like 2 because this has some plastic parts to it. Now, I've never done this before, so you're coming along with me for this gigantic project. The other thing you're going to need, and it's more of a flathead for a wedge to pop the hinges out at the bottom of this. But first I'm going to kind of clean the outside first, and then we're going to go ahead and start to take the door off. I do have some blankets here off to the side of me and some towels because I don't want to just set this on the tile itself. This handle will come off when I take the back off, so you want to make sure you're giving it some sort of support. Are you ready? So for the first part, I am going to just take some Windex and some paper towels and just try to get it as clean as possible. So after I got it good in the Windex, and you can still see this, I don't know if you can see it or not, these streaks through here that are really noticeable. See all those streaks? Those are in that third pane that I'm trying to get rid of. They're not here, and they're not on the inside, and they're not when you open up the oven door. You have to take the oven door off to get this done. So I'm going to go ahead and clean it with some baking soda and vinegar on the outside again, and then we'll get started with the big project. So the first thing we need to do is pop this hinge. You can see it moving. I'm kind of afraid. You want to pop this hinge down on both sides. I'm going to go ahead and support it with my leg a little bit. And you want this hinge to actually go inside this hole. I'm going to go ahead and start this one. Then you want to put the door, both of these are all the way down, I think. I went ahead and put some gloves on because I don't really want to be a mess. So, or pinch myself, because I'm really good at that. So I'm going to put this door at that level. And then I'm going to lift it up entirely together, hopefully. I feel like this guy went back in. So then you want to put the door so it will lift up. And why can I only get the right side up? All right. Oh, wonderful. Let me just put that down again. So I decided to put this on my kitchen counter. It's not that heavy. It just was awkward with the hinges. One side was coming out and the other side wasn't. I'm going to clean these really good before I start taking the handle off, because I know that this is going to be kind of a mess. I decided to put this on the counter just because I think it would be easier to not have to bend over or crawl around the floor to try to take this apart. So I'm going to clean these hinges really good, and then we'll go on to the next part. So I am going to start with these top screws. No, the handle will come off once I start to loosen this. So I went ahead and decided to use the tried and true screwdriver instead of the drill, because I felt like my drill bit doesn't really fit in these, even though it's a Phillips head. The drill bit was acting a little weird. It's a really cheap drill bit, so I just decided to do these by hand. And this handle is going to come off as soon as I pull this out. I'm putting these in a little cup. They should both have a washer on it. Yep, they both have the washer on it, so I'm going to put them head side down so that the washer doesn't fall off the screw. I'm going to set that down and just pull this handle. I just moved this down to the edge so the handle hangs off, and it's not coming off, so there might be another screw inside here that we'll find in a minute. So let me go ahead and undo these. Well, that took a little bit of work, but I can definitely see where these streaks are because they are on this panel itself. So I'm going to go ahead and take some cleaning wipes. I think you need to just stick around to see if I can get this thing back together, because that was challenging. Challenging because I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe if I did 5 ovens, I would know what I was doing, and then it wouldn't be so challenging. But this, okay, I don't know where this came from. I just found this. So I don't know. I'm going to set it over here in the jar. And hopefully, I don't see, oh no, I see one on both sides. It's like a spacer at the top that goes right here. I'm so glad I saw that. Okay, so look for that. The oven doesn't look too horrible. This front part looks the worst, so I'm going to go ahead and spray that. You might want to take the drawer out, which I didn't, but I'll take it out later. I'll get this really good and let them sit at the same time. So I took the door down that I was cleaning, and it looks pretty good. I don't think it's the greatest, but this has 2 panes in it. It has the front pane and it has this outside pane. I had to take these 2 screws out, these 2 that are right here, except on the other side. And I'm hoping that I can lift this pane out. Okay. It has these little notches here, these little pocket that I have to slide it out of. I'm learning this as I go here, so I think I'm going to have to unscrew both sides. I didn't want to really do that, but it looks like I'm going to have to do that. I am setting these screws in a different spot because I'm getting too many screws. So I'm setting them over here, but I'm setting them in front of this cleaner bottle here so that I can just put this right back together. Yeah, so this particular door has 3 panes to it, not 2, 3. It's a little more involved, and you know, of course, I'm going to tackle that job. Just just because. There we go. So this pane and then this pane. I guess this does not come off the glass. So these bars on the end do not come off the glass. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this side, and then I'll flip it over and clean the other side, and then we'll get to the door. So the top one's taken off, and here is another part of this horrible streak that has been driving me crazy for a couple years. Yeah, they don't make it easy to clean this glass. Why is it so easy for it to get so dirty? I don't know. Like, how can that liquid get in there? And it takes like 14 people and 6 hours, probably longer than that by the time I get finished, out of your day to just clean that area. Ow, this is pretty sharp. So yeah, be careful. That's why I put gloves on, but clearly these are rubber gloves and they're not really making a huge difference. So I'm gonna get this cleaned up as well. So believe it or not, there's 2 panes here, and I would have to take off this part to get in between those 2. It doesn't seem to be really on the glass. Well, maybe. Yeah, the spot's in between these 2 panes. And there's like grease in between these 2 panes on the bottom. I just don't even know what I started. Okay, deep breath. I don't know. I'm gonna attempt to take these off, but it doesn't look that easy. It has these hinges here, these screws here. I just don't want to have it this far apart and not get all of the panes. There's 4. 4! Okay, that was 5. 4. So you can't get in between these 2 panes. Now, they weren't the filthiest, but it has a spot right here in the middle, and at the bottom in between the 2 panes, there's just grease and stuff, dirt collected down there. I just don't understand how you can't get into these 2 panes. I literally took off all the screws. This doesn't lift up because of the hinges here. So you can't get in there to remove the glass. And I just don't want to take anything else apart because I don't really know what I'm doing. So I'm just going to screw this back down and then we'll put it back together. So it's a bit frustrating that I can't get in between those 2 panes, but I'm going to go ahead and slide this one back in and just put the screws in here. And I put them over here. And for some reason, there was not one in this bottom one. There was just one in the middle and the top. So I'm going to put those. So these little hinges somehow are flipped up, and I don't see how I can hook it back on the oven. All right, so yikes. I don't know what's going on. So if I put this on here, oh, I know. It's on the other side. I'm okay. We're okay. Good Lord. I'm going crazy. Okay, I think I've about had it with this oven. Okay, so I'm gonna line these doors up here where the screws go back in. It kind of has to drop in place. Gosh, now I'm getting a million fingerprints all over it again. Oddly, this part is the hardest part. This part, oh gosh, I'm gonna try to show this to you. This has these hinges here that you either screw these in first or there's hinges at this end that they're actually just slots. I don't even know if I got it all the way in there. They slide into this black part. This metal piece here, this gray, slides into this black part. And now I'm just screwing the handles back down. Whew, that was insane. Okay, this looks still kind of greasy to me, so I'm just gonna give it a one over with some paper towel and some more cleanser, and then I'm gonna try to hang this again. 4 panes. You can't even get into the last two. It's just, I don't even know who designed this oven, but let me see. Who is it? Samsung oven, 4 panes. I guess that's good for insulation, but not for cleaning by any means. Okay, this I think is the hardest part. It's just to make sure those hinges are hooked back on again. God, I'm just praying that this door closes. Okay, and then we close these back up again. Now, I feel like I will never do this again. Yes! 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 I feel like it's tight. I feel like it's working. I am just gonna try to get this drawer back in that I did end up taking out. I don't know at what part. Let me see. Why are these always so hard to take out and put in? Okay. Okay. Let me just say one more thing I'm going to do just before I close this video is I use this Steelmeister. I do like it for metal surfaces. You know, the fingerprints are just insane. But this does a really good job about taking those fingerprints off. It does leave kind of a oily film on it at first. It does dry. I do this with the front of the microwave and the front of the refrigerator and everything. But it just gives it a little bit of a better look for sure. Okay, let me just say something. I will never do that again. I will never do that again. I will buy another oven before I do that again. It worked, except for that I didn't know it had 4 panes and you couldn't get to the last 2 of the inside of the panes. The rest of it, it's better, but it was worth 8 hours of my day today. Okay, maybe not 8 hours. I mean, that's a little exaggeration. But yeah, I don't think I'll do that again. Fun. Just, I wanted to try it and I did and checked the box. So I hope you got something out of this video. Again, this is a Samsung. Yours might be a lot easier if it's a different brand. Please like, share, and subscribe to this video. And as always, thank you for watching White Willow.